Oh, goody.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So we have a bit of an update on the compensation surrounding the issues we've been having with the Spotlight caches this week. Spotlight cache bug resolution. Good news, we have a solution and compensation plan for the recent Spotlight cache issues. Thanks for the patience as we've been figuring this out. For players that have been impacted by the Spotlight cache issues that have happened recently, all Spotlight keys spent while the bug was active will be refunded. Players will keep all the rewards they received from previous spent Spotlight keys. Spotlight cache will now accurately display and track previously earned rewards from the system. Impacted means if you had a broken Spotlight cache banner and any of the initial 4 rewards that you were supposed to have access to were not available within your first 4 opens. So if you haven't seen what was going on there, basically certain cards were being replaced with things that shouldn't have been in those initial 4 openings. The most common being USA Agent being replaced with a premium mystery variant, I think. But also some of the variants or cards like Jeff or Mirage also weren't really working correctly for some people. And that resulted in a lot of people not being able to get all those things within their 4 keys. Additionally, we are sending 500 gold to all players that have unlocked access to Spotlight cache features and logged in while the bug was active. So even if you weren't involved with this bug at all and weren't impacted, you will still be getting a little bit of freebie gold. Now, there is a little bit more to this. So they have rolled out compensation in terms of the returning keys. However, from what I've seen, not every player that has been impacted by this has actually been compensated yet. It seems there is a smaller group of affected players who have fallen through the cracks. I believe they're working on sorting that all out. But if you used Spotlight keys and you got something you weren't supposed to be getting in those first 4 keys, and you haven't gotten the keys yet, I think that is still actively being worked on. A lot of people did get the keys back, but from what I've heard, it has not been everyone just yet. Seems they are aware of this though and working to sort it out, so hopefully they get that fixed soon. If you opened with keys and you did not have this bug though, there is no refund. If you opened with your keys and you got US Agent or Jeff or Mirage or the 1k token / mystery slot, and there wasn't anything that wasn't supposed to be there in those, you will not be getting any kind of key refund. And that's kind of the reason I didn't end up going for this, because I wasn't super interested in this stuff, and I thought that could be a possible outcome. There do seem to still be some wonky things going on, though, with the Spotlight cache system, and I think it's mainly for players who were initially impacted by the bug, but I'm not 100% sure. I have seen reports of players getting kind of soft locked on the collection screen. Some players have reported they haven't been able to upgrade cards, and progressing the collection track, it's just kind of frozen. And there have been some things showing that some players still have similar issues with not the proper stuff showing up in spotlights. Again, I believe this is only people who were already initially impacted. But if you happen to be experiencing this and you didn't have those initial problems, I would love to hear it, because there's not a whole ton of information out on this right now. But for a lot of players, the spotlights are working again, but there do still seem to be some bugs going on for a certain section of the player base, and I guess we'll have to see what happens with that. As far as compensation goes, I think this is fairly decent. The only thing that I think they really need to work out is making sure the players who were affected, who haven't got the refund, do end up getting that proper refund. But this definitely can be a lesson of what to expect for the future. I know some players are going to feel like, oh man, I didn't take advantage of this bug, so I missed out, and I can understand those feelings. If it makes you feel better at all, I don't think everyone was impacted by this bug. So if you did spend keys and the bug didn't happen for you, well, you would have been out those keys anyway on whatever you got from the boxes. So something to keep in mind for next time. I guess if you do see you're going to clearly be impacted by a more major bug like this, it does seem somewhat optimal to take advantage of it. So yeah, that's the update on all the Spotlight cache issues. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below though. Were you impacted by this issue? Are you still having issues with it? It's kind of hard for me to gauge the actual scope, but I have tweeted some things out about it, and I have seen responses from people both on Twitter and Discord that there are still weird things going on with some of these Spotlight caches for a subset of the player base. So hopefully they can get that stuff figured out, but it is Friday, so who knows if it'll actually be ironed out before people get off work for the weekend. I guess only time will tell. And if you're curious about whether US Agent has actually been worth kind of all this trouble, to me, from what I've seen, the answer is no. The card seems very, very bad. Or at the very least mediocre. I've seen, I think it's been played exactly 2 times against me, one of which was a random generation, and it was not particularly impactful, so I wouldn't feel too bad on missing out on getting this card, even though obviously if you could get it for free, well, that's always a nice thing, but it is what it is. Just want to get the info out there. Again, let me know in the comments below what you think, what your experience has been. I'd love to hear it. It's going to wrap it up for this one, though. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.